I think it's when I'm on the draw. That's when it gets to me like really difficult. This one's interesting. All right, I'm gonna tell you what I have. I have a one lander.
Okay.
And I have a Heartfire hero, and then my other beater is an Ember Heart Challenger. So if I miss the land, this hand's like not good.
Are we playing the same
We're not
Hamuda
playing exactly.
75?
We're not playing exactly the same.
But it's pretty close,
It's
right?
basically the same. It's like the
Okay.
same thing. Yeah.
You have 20 lands?
Yeah.
Do you have a Titan Strength in your hand?
I have it. I do have a Titan Strength. I have an Infuriate. Basically the same thing.
Infuriate says scry one?
No, +3/+2 instead of Scry 1.
Okay, so in this scenario, so I almost never keep a one lander on the play. The only thing in your deck that would make me consider it is the scry on Titan Strength.
Right.
Because if you're goldfishing, which in the mirror theoretically, there's a good chance you're goldfishing. Like in an open deck list, you'll know how many Fatal Push I have. You know I have 2 main deck Fatal Push. But like the only thing I'm thinking about is like, well, if I go turn 1 Heartfire, turn 2 upkeep Titan Strength to help myself find the land drop,
Yeah.
that feels pretty okay. I like care about the rest of my hand, but if I'm on the play and I don't have a scry, I'm gonna snap maul a 1 land 7.
Got it. That's what I figured, but I just wanted to double check. Oh, this one is slightly worse, but actually it's fine. We don't need this card.
Oh,
We're doing so good.
My hand is much worse. Wait. That's a different card. This hand might be playable.
That's how I feel whenever I start with no Kumano.
Oh, this hand. So here's the difficult part of being on the draw game 1. So I'm on the Hamuda 75. My interaction is 2 Fatal Push, 1 Reckless Rage. So I have 3 whole pieces of interaction. I'm already on 6. I don't think I can mull to 5 to like try to find interaction. So I think I just have to, keep this 6 and hope your hand kind of sucks.
So you're saying it's a 6 with no removal, but I assume there's like pumps and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a 6 that like if I was on the play, I'd be like, good luck, loser. But I'm on the draw, so I'm the loser in this scenario.
So on the draw, you are valuing removal a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't want to try to race this deck when I'm on the draw, but kind of like we talked about in my other video, like how hard you mulligan for an answer depends on how many answers you have.
Right.
I have 3 whole answers.
So
I already mulled like my 7 was decent, but didn't have any interaction and wasn't the nuts. So I was like, meh, let me try 6. And again, the 6 is decent but doesn't have interaction. So like I'm not gonna go to 5 trying to find interaction because at that point, like how far is one removal spell gonna get me anyway?
Yeah. So here's another decision that I question all the time. I'm about to slick shot, but I can slick shot now and just get an extra point in, or I can plot it for next turn. I see you don't have cliffs. Okay, always plot it.
I mean, not like always, but so in this matchup, 9 times out of 10, your opponent is going to tap out on turn 2 because that's like how this deck works.
Right.
If you want to win with this deck on turn 2, you plot slick shot or you run out one of the other 2 drops, right? And if I like take turn 2 off to hold up interaction or do something silly like that, I'm getting tempoed out of the game anyway. But if you just like give me a guaranteed like, hey, here's a free slick shot, I'm gonna just take it. And if I have like a 1 drop plus Fatal Push, now I've kind of stolen the tempo a little bit.
If you have a 1 drop, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Infuriate. It is infuriating, actually.
I'm sure.
I think a really important part about playing against this deck is like not taking it personal. There's like a very mental component here, and I think a lot of people, when you do what you just did, get really frustrated going into game 2, and they're like, you had it, wah.
Yeah.
But like you kind of need to just shrug it off and go, yeah, the deck does that sometimes. Because sometimes it also does nothing.
It's true.
So you just like clowned me, and I feel nothing.
That's just the way it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just have to shrug and go, that's That's the way it goes sometimes.
Like game one again, by the way, if that's cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like pre-boarded.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's an important part of the mental aspect of this matchup is like, of course we want to be kind of critical and think about if there were things we could have done differently, but sometimes you just get wrecked, and you kind of gotta just shrug, get out of your head, sideboard correctly, and like, you know, play patiently in the next games.
All right, that makes sense. All right, so I think this is like exactly what I want to practice for, because my hand has no removal. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because I like tend to want to like block, but this deck is hard to block against.
The other thing, if you're playing this deck, you
Right,
also
okay.
have to just be at peace with like, I'm gonna I'm gonna draw 3 1-landers in a row and keep 5 and hope for the best sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is totally where I'm at. But it is a good 5. If I could like rip a land right here. Okay. That's okay. It's alright. The spoiler alert is that you don't have interaction, so unless you top decked it, we're cooking. We're cooking.
All right. Let me think this through. I have a slick shot and I have 2 infuriates and a challenger. So I could plot slick shot. Well, attack first, you won't block, and then plot slick shot, and next turn take a really big hit.
Mhm.
Or the other option is I play challenger, attack, and then next turn play slick shot, pump once. Okay, I think playing slick shot, plotting is the best option here. Talking it through.
Nice. I think one of the, I don't know how secret or not secret it is because I haven't talked to extensively to people who think this deck is good. So I don't know how secret or not secret it is. But I think the worst thing, or the line that can punish you the most is tapping out for challenger on turn 2. Like I think that's the weakest part of the deck, that when you're playing against it, you want to take advantage of that because you just like tapped out for your best creature or one
Yeah.
of your best creatures, right? And if I just kill it while you're tapped out, I kind of like reset you, which definitely sucks for you.
Yeah. So what did you do? You flipped this, you pumped this, and you left one open. So you could have a reckless rage or a thing.
I could have either one.
Yeah.
Or I could have any number of things because Heartfire is Valiant only
Right.
gets value once per turn. So, I mean, if I had 3 pump spells in hand, I would probably burn a second one to like set you up for lethal. But if I don't have an overabundance of pump spells, I'm not gonna waste one that doesn't trigger Valiant. Like I was stuck on 1 land, so I could have like a 2-drop and a pump spell and some other random thing. It could be a lot of things.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm playing with the idea that you have a 1 piece removal. So my option was I could play slick shot and then slam Kumano and double infuriate. But then, like the upside is if you don't have a fatal push, then I put a lot of damage on you. If you do have a fatal push, I'm like really out.
Yeah.
This way, I think even if you kill one of them, I still get to keep the other.
Yeah, so the play that you made defends really well against removal, but it doesn't defend well against the threat of me
Just killing me.
just killing you. Yeah, because now I have a big Heartfire and you're super dead to burn together, and there's just kind of nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. But now I like reckless rage.
What?
Now I like reckless rage. It pumps the heart fire.
Yeah, Reckless Rage was the nuts there.
All right. So the other option I had was that if I played slick shot, it's +5/+5 and then +2. That's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
So the truth is, I also had a Fatal Push in hand, and I drew the Monstrous Rage off the top. If I had attacked there, you take an extra like 7, 8,
Yeah.
9. Like you had no outs. This is one of those games where, like, especially without interaction, you had no outs. But I just had the nuts because if you were proactive with the Infuriates, I just like
Blow
kill
me out
Slick
there.
Shot.
Yeah.
If you go all in, if you leave back a blocker, which I think would have been the most correct thing, to not die to the Heartfire,
Yeah.
you still then lose to the Monstrous Rage off the top.
So how would I have calculated that? Okay, first of all, I could let me think about how much damage I put on you because we're assuming that, or I should have assumed that I'm like taking lethal damage next turn, so that this is like the turn to go for it, right? And we're
Kind of. I mean, so Heartfire Hero didn't have trample at that point. And so like theoretically if I don't have a trample or a burn together, then a chump block continues the game. Maybe you just go for it because like I don't think it would be unreasonable to go for it, assuming that like, well, I either gotta kill you now or I'm gonna lose. But infuriate, what did you have? A Swift Spear and a bird?
yeah, Swift Spear,
So
Bird, and then one Challenger.
oh yeah, well
Well,
yeah,
I
so
can choose not to play the Challenger there.
yeah, your infuriates, you had two infuriates, right?
Yeah, two Infuriates and a Kumano. So that's 13.
So yeah, 6, 12. Infuriates deal 6 each, and Kumano deals 4. So 6, 12, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
I was definitely lower than 18, right?
Were you?
I don't know. I think. Maybe
Okay.
not. No, I was. You hit me with Swift Spear twice.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess there either I present lethal or I decide to leave a creature to block.
Yeah, those two things I think would be reasonable. They both play around like oh, if you go for lethal, you're kind of anticipating I don't have a removal spell, and if you leave back a blocker, you're hoping I don't have a trample spell.
Yeah.
I do think that my sequencing was pretty sus. I did miss a land drop, which makes it harder to like shape my hand based on my sequencing. But I think leaving up the black cleave definitely like telegraphs removal. So leaving back a blocker is probably the most correct.
I see.
Yeah. Kumano faces Kakuzu.
The best turn one.
You know, it's better than one Kumano, two Kumanos.
Okay, let's see. Let me think. I think I know what I'm going to do here. Yeah.
Oh, free damage. Let's go.
I know. Just drew you a card right there.
You did. Your generosity will be remembered. Oh, I drew something that makes me have to actually think about this.
You want to talk about it?
It's not that interesting, and I don't want to shape your thinking too much. I can share afterwards.
Okay.
Because I think it's important to consider like what card did I draw and does that make me want to do something different? Because I was pretty locked in on my play, and then I drew this card and I went, maybe I should do something. Maybe I should do something different. And the thing that I think is really important to think about is always like your path to winning the game. So I'm going to do this, which is the card that I top decked. And I was planning to play something different, but I like this better because Heartfire helps me present a clock myself without forcing me to tap out. And I think tapping out is really bad with this deck. And like this deck has to, but I think that's the big weakness of the deck is the tapping out. How many Infuriates are you playing?
3.
And how many Monstrous Rage are you
4.
playing? Titan Strength?
0. And then there's one Dreadmoss Ire.
Why
It
are you
destroys an
playing
oven.
Why are you playing 0 Titan Strength?
There's no more space.
There's no more.
Okay, well,
we can talk about it later.
We can talk about it later.
Okay, so you have 8 buffs.
Yeah.
You haven't played any. You definitely have a buff in your hand. Okay. Resolves. Your hand would be unkeepable if it didn't have, or borderline unkeepable if it didn't have any buffs.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
I have a manifold mouse. I was going to give the Challenger Double Strike.
I'm going to give you a little spoiler.
Yeah, push.
Yeah. Manifold Mouse would have been the worst play here because it plays into the removal spell that I'm showing you. Ay. Oh. What am I? You only have 2 cards left. One of them is a bad card.
Only one.
Only one. That's true. It might be It might be 2 bad cards. You're at 12. What does putting you to 10 get me? Putting you to 10 gets me that. I think that would be a really funny way to win this game. So I'm going to play to that out.
Land.
I will explain that out afterwards. But you being at 10 instead of 12 is very relevant to the cards in my hand. And I think it's easy to not think that, okay, all right, Offsprung Mouse is pretty good here, actually.
Let's go. I actually thought about it for a second, because if I choose to not offspring it, I could flip over a pump spell.
Yeah, that's true.
But I kind of want to have having another mouse really helps, because then next turn I can double strike one and double strike
I don't
the
think
other.
there's any reason not to give. Oh, wait. Manifold only. I keep forgetting that card's not as good as people say it is. I was going to say, why don't you give Kumano double strike too?
Yeah, I wish. I wish he was a little Mickey Mouse too.
I have to do this. I can't take
Bajillion
4
damage,
damage
yeah.
and let you keep doing that. I could have prevented 2 more damage by not attacking with Kumano and like doing a chump block, so I could block with Kumano, block Kumano with Kumano, and then cast Reckless Rage. But you being at 10 instead of 12 mattered to Jeggy being my win con.
Are you gonna hit me then fling Jiggy?
Yeah, I am.
I've done that before.
If you let me win long or live long enough, I don't think I'm going to live that
This
long.
is 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're okay. Wait. No,
It's more than 7. It's 8.
wait, 4. Oh, right. The other one gets double strike too. I forgot.
Yeah, you can give them both double strike. So, oh yeah, I was literally dead on board. Why did I not concede already?
So that we can see all my little critters.
Yeah. So if I held back and blocked, I still just die.
Let's try one more.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll let you play first, because I want to practice being on the draw more.
Nice.
Because that's where I really struggle the most. Being on the play is very easy to do. Being on the draw is much harder.
And you saw there,
is interesting.
I had a Fatal Push and a Reckless Rage, and I still lost on the draw.
Yeah.
Because you killed my Ember, my Heartfire. You killed my Heartfire. My hand was 5 lands. That was not going to be good enough. This hand looks pretty okay though.
Don't click too fast. All right. So I have Swift Spear, and I have a Fatal Push. If I play Swift Spear now and swing, you get to crack me back for a lot. Or I play a land that can make black and then make you hit me a little less, and then play Swift Spear afterwards. What do you think?
So I like using the removal spell on the second creature. This deck taps out a lot. There's like many kind of keepable hands are 1-drop into Emberheart.
Right.
So I generally save the removal spell for either when my opponent taps out for their Emberheart, or the really cool thing about Fatal Push is you can like buff your creature to any size, and Fatal Push still kills it. So you can kind of at some point in the game just hide behind Fatal Push and not be able to die. Heartfire doing the like fling damage means if I'm kind of going hard on Heartfire, then you might want to kill it sooner rather than later. So in this case, I didn't have a second threat, so now I'm pretty inclined to hold up Fatal Push mana. But turn 1 is like way too fast. I think you got to be a little more patient with the removal. If just for the record, if I had a 1-drop, I would play the 1-drop and hold up Fatal Push mana instead of tapping out for Flick Shot. Because now I'm in the clear.
Yeah, lots of 2s.
Yeah, hands with lots of 2s are one of the downsides to the deck.
Am I done that way? I take 6 and then you 12 me if you have burn.
I don't have it. But I play tested with my friends. I played like, I don't know, 25 matches just so they could practice against the deck. I cast Burn together 0 times. It's like, man, this deck is so good.
I very rarely do the mouse combo with like Burn together. It doesn't happen as often. Interesting. Well, if I play Slick Shot now, I don't have any pumps, so I don't think I can like threaten your life total a lot. I could play a Challenger and hold up a Fatal Push and try and block.
If I didn't have any pumps, I would not play Slick Shot into black mana. Like, you're getting 1 whole damage.
Oh, I meant like, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, since I have black mana up, I mean, obviously you're not gonna just be afraid of it forever, but if you don't even have like gas, I think it's right to like develop more threats.
And should I swing with both or just one? I was thinking going this way.
So I don't have burn together. Otherwise I would have just
Yeah.
killed you last turn,
True.
right?
Correct.
But on the other hand, you're getting 1 whole damage in with Swiss Spear. So I think it's reasonable either way. Swiss Spear isn't doing much. Honestly, you have a Fatal Push. I would attack. You're hiding behind Fatal Push. I'm like not showing you any other threats. Personally, I would attack because you have this Fatal Push that I can't really. Obviously, this deck doesn't play protection spells, so.
If only it played green, right?
I know. That green color is pretty good. Oh,
see,
don't cast it.
Don't cast it.
So let's pretend this is paper. I attack. Your next words out of your mouth are no blocks.
Yeah, no blocks.
Now priority's back to me, and I say no effects.
Yeah.
So now you've done no blocks. Oh, okay. And now you've also. Now I'm a little confused. I'm attacking.
Yeah. We're at blocking. So now this you have to.
Yep. I attack. You say no blocks. I'm saying no effects.
Yeah. So
now
effects.
It's up to you.
Yeah. Now it's up
if
to
you. If you don't do anything, you're taking 3. So if you're okay with taking 3, you just take 3. Now you also have the option to cast your Fatal Push right now, which I can respond to, but given that it's a Fatal Push, it has pretty diminishing returns.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to take 3 because I'm thinking that next turn I can just at least get more damage out of the Fatal Push on the prowess triggers. Or is that being too greedy? Because I also have the Slick Shot. From this position, I was thinking that I won't die to your mouse yet, unless you like popped it.
Yeah, there's a reason that line. Well, actually, let me think. 3, 6, 7. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter. This deck is pretty sick when it's good. This deck is really good. In fact, did I misplay? No, I didn't misplay. I played correctly. But this deck is so disgusting. Oh my god. So in response,
yeah,
I just make it.
Now
it's lethal.
Funny. Okay.
The thing is, like, so when you were, I guess you were at 11, so that's the reason.
3 would have mattered.
Yeah, the 3 would have mattered. So I was leaning towards you kill it now because if you take that 3, you like, if Heartfire dies, you die.
Right.
And then I was like, well, if I respond to your Fatal Push with both of these, you die anyway. But that's not actually accurate because it would have only gone to 10 power, and you would have been at 11 if you didn't take the 3. So I do think with Heartfire in particular, you've got to kind of be careful not to put yourself in, like, when this thing dies, I die range. I maybe baited you into being too patient there.
No,
because I do think that patience is really important, but Heartfire having the fling text on it means you need to have an internal, like, a little bit of a clock on it. You can't be too patient with it.
Yeah.
My hand is Slick Shot, Emberheart, Monstrous Rage.
Slick Shot, Emberheart, Monstrous Rage. So you plot all the Slick Shots?
No, I'm Snap Mulligan.
Okay, I have an Infuriate, a Monstrous Rage, a Challenger, and a Swift Spear. I have to put away 1 card. It's a Challenger, right? Or the Infuriate.
An Infuriate, a Challenger, a Monstrous Rage, and a Swift Spear?
Yeah. I have 2 threats at 2 pumps.
I would put back a pump. I would put back Infuriate. Wait, 2 threats, 2 pumps, and 2 lands. Okay. Yeah. Because you do know that I have some amount of main deck interaction. And if you only keep one threat and I kill your one threat, you're just kind of like, well, hope I draw another one.
Deploy the mouse. It's mouse in time.
Mouse. Oh, it's mouse in time. I'm terrified of these mice. Oh, I still have this upkeep stuff. Can I draw a mouse? No. No mouse for Stanley. What do you got for me, deck? Oh, no. Oh, it was such a misplay to Ancestral Anger before I drew for turn. And I knew that. And then I went, this deck doesn't play any like lands that matter because it's already a black cleave.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot there's two dens in this deck. Yep. I totally drew the den and went, oh yeah, that's in this deck.
So I thought about not playing the land there, but if I flip a pump, my village can't. My village can't do the thing. Oh, actually, I'll just pump it for one more.
Well, when you exile a card with Emberheart, you have until the end of your turn to play it. So
yeah, I just wanted to be able to flip like an Infuriate and then like pump it.
Yeah, but you can like flip an Infuriate and then play your land and then cast the Infuriate.
It's already past combat though. Oh, I guess I could just do it before combat.
Yeah, I didn't even I was tapped out. I didn't realize you cast the Monstrous Rage in combat. Yeah, in that scenario, you just main phase the Monstrous Rage to look at your top card, and then you decide what sequence you're going to take. No, it's my turn. Oh, I meant to put an upkeep stop. Well, so I'm on kind of a pivotal turn here, right? Because I have to figure out, do I need to find 13 damage, or do I have the option to find 13 damage, or do I need to prepare to defend myself? So I could find 13 damage with a Titan Strength, or I have a Titan Strength in my hand. That's why I meant to have an upkeep stop, because I have Titan Strength Monstrous Rage, which is 9 damage. And so Ancestral Anger or Titan Strength would have been lethal. And so I wanted to stop and think about like my chances of finding lethal versus my chances of not dying, but that lack of upkeep stop kind of got rid of that. But in reality, you've got 2 mana. One is the Sulfurous Springs. You did like fly through your turn doing nothing, so I feel pretty confident that your hand is like sucks. I don't know what exactly sucks about it, but I have a feeling that your hand sucks, which is like an important thing to try and read when you're playing this deck. You could have interaction, but I also know that like your dudes have prowess, not heroic, so you probably would have killed my Swift Spear on your turn and done extra damage if you could have. So I'm sitting here thinking, all right, your hand sucks. I can probably manage to not die. So I'm gonna put Dreadhorde Arcanist on the table, and then I'm gonna pass. Could that be right? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I can kill you at 13 if I don't die. If your opponent rock faces in this scenario, you know their hand is not good. And now you're tapped out, and it's 7. Oh, which puts me to 1. For the record, 1 is not 0, and I think you should have spent some time thinking about not attacking with that Swiss Spear. Because again, now you're like tapped out, completely shields down, and if I can find lethal, you've kind of given me the chance. Whereas if I'm at 1, or if I'm at... Oh, are you just going to kill me?
No.
Oh, Rebel. I was like, you just slow rolled me so hard.
There's no burns. I guess like it has to be specifically
burn together.
Burn together. We could have done that.
Or like the one of Spikefield Hazard that I don't know about. I don't know. Okay, so you have a blocker. Then that's good. I need to do math. So if I have Emberheart, Monstrous Rage, Titan Strength. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. That's 13 damage. So you're dead. I don't need to do anything weird in my upkeep and try to find an out. Also, notice that den, like all the way back to turn 2, when I played my land first, that den was almost problematic. I had to like sequence through that den, which tapped me out in order to ultimately in this game.
All right, so let's talk about what I can do better, because I think I do get better sense of how to play this matchup now, or like this kind of mirror better.
Yeah. I mean, game one is a little, game one is really tough, and luckily you play more games post board than pre board. Like I think pre board is a little bit more whoever has it. Like there, your sequence was correct. You did the best you could do, but I had the trample spell, right? Like
Yeah.
I just had a lot of damage. I guess the thing, yeah, and at that point you can't really bluff because then oh, wait. You had lethal.
Did
Or you
I?
could have because
Oh,
the land gives haste. So you could have forced
oh
me
yeah.
to
I could have
yeah,
pumped other mouse.
Heartfire. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then I block, right? And then I don't have Swift Spear to deal the extra damage. So if I just dump my hand, and I think I bricked on the exile. So if I just dump my hand, it's 2, 6, 10. Yeah, and you don't die. So pretty confident you win that game.
If I remember to do the pump on
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
Okay, well I think like the takeaway for me is just like usually still going for it, but then just like spending a bit more time thinking about like how much damage I could take to like make a better decision if I should go for it or if I should like try and defend.
Yeah, like the threat analysis on the Heartfire, like taking 3 from an Ember Heart is a lot different than taking 3 from a Heartfire, because then you're like at 8 and you're
Yeah,
kind of in trouble. And the fact that it's Fatal Push and not Reckless Rage is also a big deal, because like I can't stop you from removing my dude. So even if I pump him up to 10 power and put you at 2, two's not 0. Like I still have to find some kind of top deck if I dump my hand, putting you to 2.
yeah,
And that's a lot of what I'm doing is like figuring out, all right, can you actually kill me with the actual cards in your deck? Can I actually kill you with the actual cards in my deck? Like I think a lot of people go on vibes and say things like, oh well, I don't want to die, or oh I think I can kill you. But it's all kind of, you can calculate it all, especially an
yeah.
open deck list.
Got it.